Hi everyone, this is Kandi Stelling. I'm here just to kind of give you a tutorial in Garageband on how to create an MP3 for your Singer on Nebraska auditions. So before we start with Garageband, I happen to have version 08, but you can have almost every version is very similar, so all of the tutorials will match basically. Before we get to Garageband, would you please click on iTunes? It should be a blue circle with 8 notes on it. And you'll want to go to iTunes like this, and you want to create a playlist. So down here in the bottom left hand corner there's a plus sign. Would you click the plus sign and you'll come up with a new playlist title, and it'll say untitled. You will want to title it whatever you'd like for your Singer on Auditions. I would just put, for me, SAN Auditions. It will end up going up to alphabetical order and being right up here. Okay, so once you're done with iTunes here, you'll go to GarageBand and hit Create New Project. When you create a new project, it'll ask you to save it in basically the way we want you to save it. Obviously is the way it is in the instructions, which is last name, first name. So I'm going to type in Smith Jane for my student. Then you'll want to type what grade they're in, then what part they are auditioning for, your last name, comma, first initial, and then we'll do school name, and then your town or city name. It doesn't matter where you save this because eventually we will be sending that to iTunes, so that's where it will be. So you can hit Create here. It already exists because I've done this before. I'm going to just go ahead and replace it. Okay, so GarageBand will take a little while to pop in. Here it comes. Then this keyboard shows up, and you want to get rid of that keyboard by clicking on this little X, the red X right there. The next thing we want to do right now is to start a recording. So we're going to again go to the plus sign in the bottom left, just like in iTunes. And because this is a vocal track, as like voice right here, you'll want to click Real Instrument Track, Create. And what you'll notice is another, here comes the other one, coming in. It'll say no effects. What I would try to do is click on no effects once and then click and hold and title it America, as that is your first audition piece that you'll want. I also changed the volume to go a little bit lower here so that I can adjust it if I have a really quiet student. I won't have trouble hearing them later. I'll just move the volume up. Also, you'll want to go up to Control and click that metronome, unclick it rather, so when you go look there, there's no check mark there, because it will add a click to your track like this. So you want to kind of get rid of that before you start. Alright, next we are ready to go to vocals here on the right hand side of your screen. Vocals, you'll click it once, and of course we want no effects because we want the true voice right here. And what you'll see is this little red line. This is called a playlist, or playhead, excuse me, and you can click it or click and drag it back and forth. We want to start right at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and record. The record button is down here, if you see my cursor moving. On the left, that's your record button. So I'm going to hit record. My country 'tis of thee. And to stop recording, you can hit the record button again, or the play button actually stops the recording. Notice it's highlighted here. You can click and drag these anywhere you would like to. Obviously, if you do more than one take of this, you'll want to make a new one. I would go ahead and save it though and leave it as is. So anytime you make a track, you're going to go to File and Save, or you can do Command S if you'd like. And let's say I want to do another America. You just repeat those steps. I'm going to add a track, real instrument, create, vocals, no effects. I'm going to create an America 2 because we're going to take a couple of takes for my kids, and I'm going to choose the best one. Notice that this one's going to play as well. So how I get that not to play is to click the mute button here, and notice the color goes away. It will mute this track as you record, so you won't hear this on top of what you're recording. So I'm going to drag that playlist back here, and I'm going to hit record. Move that volume down, and I'm going to start recording with that little red dot again. My country 'tis of thee. You can listen to it again by going back. This will take you all the way back to the beginning. This will just move you to the back one measure. So let's just click and listen. Oh, it's a little quiet, so guess what I get to do? Move that volume up. Don't really like how quiet that is. Now let's try that again. My country, 'tis of thee. Nice. So there it is. I really like that take. I don't want this one anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to track, delete track. And what will happen is it will delete and you'll have your America 2. It doesn't matter what this is titled. This is only for you to know what track that is for your kiddo. Next, I'm going to record another. Jubilate is next on the audition, so I'm going to hit the plus sign, real instrument, create. And I'm going to turn that volume down again. And now, what would I name that? Double click, or just click and hold, Jubilate. Now I want to start after this is finished. So what I'm going to do is, obviously your tracks will be longer, but I'm going to drag that playhead where that one ends, or as close to it as possible, to start recording. And I'm going to mute this so I don't even hear anything. Let's try the recording. Okay, there's my little track for Jubilate. And I'm going to keep that one, okay? So I want to record next my song for Amazing Grace, or I'm just going to choose one of those solos that I put in the application form. Hit create, vocals, no effects. And again, I'm going to title this one, let's see, I'm going to do Amazing Grace here. Could be anything. Simple Gifts, whichever you'd like. I'm going to change that volume again. And I'm going to start recording Amazing Grace by clicking this. Oops, forgot to mute this one so I don't hear it. Even though obviously my playhead's after that, I wouldn't hear it anyway if you move your playhead. But if you start everything back at the beginning and put them on top, you'll want to mute those. So I'll go ahead and mute it here and start recording Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace. Hit that play button to stop. And I'm going to go back. And what I want to do before I decide what volume levels I like, I kind of move them to the middle here. And let's see what I really like. I'm going to listen to this all the way from the beginning. Oops, I've already muted it, sorry. I've got to unmute those so you can hear them again. Notice they turn purple again. My country, 'tis of thee. Amazing Grace. And now you've listened to your recording. Let's say you really love where it is. This one was a little loud for me because it was high. You never want, do you see how this green right here is where my cursor is kind of peeking out? You never want it to peek into the red spot, like that. You don't want that to peak, so that's how you adjust your volume there. Let's say I really like what I did. I'm going to File, Save again. And I want to keep this as is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Share, Send Song to iTunes. What's cool about this is, obviously, there's a playlist here. Mine comes in as my name. But I want to match this to what I made a playlist in iTunes. So I'm going to put SAN for Sing Around Nebraska, Auditions. Oops. There we go. And for your artist name, you might want to put your student. So I'm going to put Smith Jane. And we want these to kind of match MP3 encoder. Obviously, there's other choices. We don't want AAC. And you can do high quality or good quality if you'd like to. It takes less memory. So if your machine is kind of maxed out on memory, you could still do good and we'd still get it. I like to use higher quality in mine. And then I will share. What will happen now is I'll compress your song. And then it will send it directly to iTunes into that essay and auditions playlist that you already created. Boop. My country, 'tis of... So kid after kid will pop into here after you make a new one for each kid. So every GarageBand track will need to create a new child for every child. So in GarageBand, let's go back there. We want to save this one. Let me move this recording here. So File. Sorry, got to get back to GarageBand. File, Save. Here you can also, to create another one, you'll just go new, or shortcut would be Command N. It's going to create a new one. Again, you'll hit Create New Music Project, and you'll start typing it just like you would for the other sample. So I'm going to do, let's do McCain, Rex, and go through that process again just like always and hit Create. So that's a quick short tutorial, I guess, about GarageBand and how to create an MP3. If you have questions, you can sure contact me at kandi.stelling@kearneypublic.org. Thanks for listening, and may we have success with this process of online auditions. Thanks.